Hello, my friend. Welcome back to the third video of the Quant Edge 4-week coaching program discussing actionable signals. As you read through the disclaimer, it's important that all the things that we have gone through in the previous two videos, that you begin to look at charts to see all these various actionable setups. You will see them all over the place, as well as it's important to start speaking the language. And by that I mean when you look at any chart, to start speaking in, it's still inside if it's forming. It's an inside bar once it has, right? Potential rev strat to the upside or the downside. All these things to speak in this language so we can try and eliminate opinions and subjectivity as soon as possible. So what we've gone through candlestick formations. When you say, what do you see? You can say, I see a hammer. I can see a momentum hammer, right? Being mindful that if it has not closed, it is presently nothing. Once again, with the inside bar, it is either forming the inside bar, has formed and closed, is now an inside bar, all right? Forming rev strat, is rev stratting. That's how we're going to speak. Time, how much time we have until the bottom of the hour, the flip. That's going to be a new 60-minute, which we'll get into the next series. Looking for combinations across several time frames, all right? So when you look at the several time frames, you can describe those in the conditions that we've been going through. What do you see? Still inside month, rev strat week. Start speaking, thinking that way, seeing things that way, and then speaking the language. The potential of a measured move. Do I see an actionable signal after a powerful move? Right? And all the importance of time. For right now, let's get to the chats. What we want to do here is go back in time just a little bit so we can see, so I can show you how this is not about asset classes. This is about price action. Anything that trades, right, is going to trade within the realm of the three universal truths because it's impossible for them not to. This is USO representing crude oil. And if we go to the monthly here, and we break it down, remember this big drop and then this here, and that's a variation measured move. We won't get into this one, but what you'll see here is that inside month right here, the inside month, which caused the next break, the next significant break. So here, equilibrium on the inside bar. It goes in force when it breaks it below 1923 and got absolutely clobbered from there. If we break it down to look for the combination that would have gotten us in before that break, now remember, once it breaks and it's in here this whole month, we were able to look for reconfirmation signals on the way down because it was in force. If we go to the weekly, a little bit further back for you. If we go to the weekly, when that occurred, this was an inside week break to the downside, 2-bar inside weekly. These shooting stars, when these two triggered to the downside, the weekly group triggered the monthly group, participation group. Very important combination, which gave us the see you later, bye, goodbye oil. All right. If we go to the S&P, Spider, on a monthly basis, what have we seen in the past, most recently here? If we go back to the S&P, what you're going to see here is a big drop here. Inside month, very important, inside month. The inside month to break to the upside. Remember that was August 2015, getting pounded. So what will occur when you have these big moves like this? The lack of actionable signals signals an exhaustion of the move, because actionable signals are what causes price to move. So when we have big moves like this that wipes out where we have almost no actionable signals, what we can expect is inside bars to begin. And that will start with the shortest time frame first. We will see inside 60s turn into inside days, turn into inside weeks, and inevitably the inside month, which we got. We had the inside month break to the upside at this point, and at that point, it was a simultaneous break as almost everything was triggering to the upside. Very beautiful move. Almost everything. We had another decline. Then, inside bar hammer on the monthly. Hammer goes in force above here. Very powerful move here in the S&P. As we start coming up into here, right, the momentum hammer from the Brexit triggers above that, right? So you can see this over and over and over again in history. If we remember last year, going back to the weekly, to start off last year, here, this was the end of last year. What do you see here? Inside bar, countered by shooting star. Remember how badly we got clobbered to start off the year in 2015. Why? Because it started off the year as a rev strat to the downside weekly. It was also a simultaneous break. QQQ. Rev Strat Weekly to open the year. This Rev Strat Weekly on the gap triggered a simultaneous break as almost every signal was triggering red on the month, the week, the day, the 60, the broader averages across the board. Did we expect that once this gap down? Yes, we did. So you can see systematically, you can walk through all this stuff, and going back, you will see all this. If we go to different asset class, the British pound, dollar pair. Right? You might recall a while back they talked about a flash crash in the pound. Now, we talk about setups and probability. It's important to remember that we don't predict anything. We look for the setups, gauge magnitude, right? And as they trigger, and as you'll see as we get to the broadening formation series, if anything goes wrong at certain points, there are places where there's a lot of actionable signals where markets can be very vulnerable, right? Doesn't mean it's going to crash. It means if they're vulnerable to certain conditions. If you look at the British pound here, right before the said flash crash, they called it, was there a setup there that potentially was going to make that happen? There was. Here's the monthly, right? And so inside bar goes up and outside of the month, comes back in for the potential rev strat. Where are the known pivots for this? 1, 2, 3. If we go back to the weekly, when that occurred, inside week. The inside week break, or the weekly participation group, triggered the Rev Strat monthly group, the two largest groups. Wham! Right? Now, they can say it's electronic. You can say whatever you want. What you will see over time is that these type of setups can be very powerful. When things tend to move further are when we see these combinations, because actionable signals are what causes the price to move. If we go to the SPY right now, right, inside week, and if we go to the monthly, still inside month. This is for this reason, right? You start by looking at a monthly chart. Most people won't do that, right? Is the monthly doing anything? When we get to time frame continuity, do you have green? But we are still inside. Remember, we're going to speak this language, still inside. That is a problem. So far as we know, it's still consolidating. And what this will help you do when you start at the longer term time frames is avoid something I call the vortex of the intraday chart, right? What that means is if you go down to a 1 minute chart and you're trying to figure out what direction this is going, it's going up. No, it's going down. No, no. Oh, no, okay, it's really going down. No, it's going up. No, it's going down. This is what consolidating looks like in a 1 minute chart. And if we break that down just a little bit more, you'll see these moves on a 5 minute chart can look gigantic because they're going completely from one side of the chart to the other. Part of the problem, part of the vortex is how software draws charts. What they do is how it is configured is when things are really slow, the bars will seem bigger. They will be drawn larger, right? This is a perception problem. So we solve this by making sure that we start on the monthly chart and speaking the language. Is it doing anything? It's still inside. What's it doing on the weekly? It's inside. Is this something we want to be trading? No. All right, so that's how we try and avoid the vortex. So we've got the inside week to start off the SPY this week. Here's a few of the setups that you can follow along with, and we'll see how it goes. All right, we'll follow along when we get back on Wednesday. Inside week for the SPY. All right. If we go to the Dow Jones Diamonds, what do we see here for the week? I'm sorry. We always start at the month, don't we, Rob? Yes, we do. For the month, still inside month. Now, if it's not going to be an inside month, perchance an actionable signal would do it. Do we have one? Oops. Potentially. Inside bar, countered with hammer. Rev Strat set up weekly Dow Jones Diamonds to start off this week. The Rev Strat on the diamonds goes in force above 198.65. We take a look at the small cap, IWM, monthly, still inside. If we go to the weekly, what do we see here? What did we discuss before? Multiple inside bars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bars completely within this bar's range. Is that something we want to be involved in? No. Let's take a look at how the daily would play out in a situation like that. It's going up, it's going down. It's going up a little bit. No, it's going down. Down, no up, no down. All right, and you can see the up. This is how we can identify something we want to avoid. All right, still inside. 7 weeks inside the weekly bar and an inside month. If we take a look at some of the Dow components, we see Merck. All right. Merck, inside month, would break above 63.03. It's been there. All right. It is also inside momentum hammer. So this week we want to see if this momentum hammer can re-break and cause a combination of the weekly monthly. If we go to Walmart, retail has been weak. Do we have reason to believe we would be looking short side in the Walmart? Yes, we do. Walmart is presently Rev Strat to the downside, monthly, which means we have all month. Make sure you can see it. We have all month. We've had all month to look for other additional setups. Inside bar equilibrium attempted, failed. Rev Strat triggers and goes in force below here. 1, 2, 3, bye-bye. Go to Kroger. Still an inside month. When something is still inside, remember previously, we can expect Rev Strats because it's still consolidating. Kroger, Rev Strat setup. Inside weak, countered with a shooting star, would trigger below 34 to start off the week. If we go to some of the refiners, what do we see here? PSX, momentum shooting star. All right, momentum shooting star would trigger below here. 82.58. We previously talked about simultaneous breaks, sector-wise. So if we take a look at PSX and then we pull it up against, say, Tesoro, inside weak, all right, would go inside down and momentum shooter, momentum shooting star below 79.74, and we're seeing that in a similar stock in a similar sector. So that tells us we can watch all of the stocks versus each other in that sector. If we go to SIG, Signet Jewelers, we go to the monthly. Presently, it is inside month to the downside. All right. That equilibrium was triggered below 90.83. It's presently $10 lower. All right. $10 lower this month. All right. So anytime it was below here, we can look for reconfirmation signals on shorter term time frames. This week, momentum shooting star here to see if we can continue. The low, 79.66, would put both of those in force. Right? The hopes, the measured move. The down, rest, pow. That would be the hopes of those that would get that combination going. If we look at McKesson, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 weeks in this bar's range. Is that something we want to be trading? No. However, if you go to the monthly, if it's going to break out of here, if it's going to take an attempt at that, the condition it would be in is inside month and up, which it would be above 148.59, which it is. All right? Now, we'll get to that when we get to time frame continuity, but it's not untradeable. It's avoidable while it's doing this. All right? But you always want to make sure that when you're seeing those inside bars that are in the middle of a huge range, we can expect those multiple setups. If we go to IBB, here we see the inside month, the attempt to the upside, and now coming back into the range. So it'd be potentially two things. Re-break of the inside bar to the upside, re-triggering above 276.13, or potentially one bar rev strat by taking this out in one bar. That'd be 261.65 for a one bar rev strat there. It's also multiple pattern, has not gotten out of here. So we can expect those rev strats if this is not strong enough to get out of there, right? So we can use this information to break down the stocks in the IBB, right? What is this telling us when this is occurring, right? So if we look at Celgene, similar, multiple bar pattern, inside month to the upside. If it was going to get out, this was its chance. Potentially one bar rev strat downside, like the IBB, and a high probability of staying inside of this because this is a large move. But here or here makes it actionable. If we go and break it down on a shorter term time frame, you can see how trouble could be expected. This bar, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 bars, 10 weeks completely inside of there. If we go to SCMP, this was a nice combination here as things weakened, right? As the IBB began to come in. RevStrat, inside bar, attempt, shooting star back in. RevStrat's below here, 1, 2, 3 levels to take out. Combination, inside month to the downside, all right? As the IBB gave it up here, if you go to IBB, once again, had an initial push up, and as it started to drop back in, all right, started to weaken, that tells us we want to look for things that are weak. Perigo, inside month to the downside, below 81.45, $6 move off of that. ENDP, per the previous video, one bar rev strat here. If we go to TSRO, this is presently still inside month and up, right? Should the IBB try and recover here, right? Once again, I talk about confirmation or negation, right? So we have this signal in force, right? So long as this month is above 143, this inside month up is in force. Now it's going to be challenged this week by an inside week, all right? So this is going to either reconfirm what we know, inside week and up, inside month and up above here, or weaken down, which is countering the month, okay? If we go back to our buddies from Facebook, once again, to start off this week, we want to see if this reconfirms. Inside week for Facebook, presently inside month and up. 2-bar pattern, still hasn't gotten out of here, right? So the possibility of dropping back in still exists, not trending on a multi-month case. However, if it goes up, potentially measured move off of here. Inside week, inside month and up combination to take that out. Amazon, inside week, presently, inside month, in force, above 782.46. Google, green on the month, no actionable signal. Inside week for the Google. So this becomes actionable above or below this. So for this week, we want to know Google below 823.20, setups to do that, or that actual break, or above 832.99, or setups to combinations to take that out. That's what we would be looking for. If we go to Symantec, SYMC, monthly, and I'm going to take this out because there's some good examples in here. All right, when you start to look at all the charts the way we are seeing them, I want you to keep practicing in your mind, looking back and seeing all the signals as they are, right? And you'll see this down move here, and you'll see this inside month. A go, go, go. You'll see this momentum hammer, all right? You'll see this inside month shooting star down. All right. You'll see this inside bar break, not be strong enough here to take that out. Set up the Rev Strat month, the bullish Rev Strat month. Hammer counters the inside bar. Goes in force above the hammer. 1, 2, 3, all taken out in 1 month. Inside month. Measured move, 1 sideways. Here, consolidate, inside month to the upside. All right, so you can see when you keep practicing and looking at things our way, right, you're going to see this all the time. Price action should not be rare. When people are looking for elusive patterns, it shouldn't be like that. It isn't anymore. We see these things the way they really are, quantifiably, for actionable signals. If we go to similar names, Hasbro, still inside of the month, so potentially expecting Rev Strats. Potential Rev Strat week set up to the downside. Tried to take the inside momentum hammer up, retraced, forms the shooting star countering the inside bar. We're also seeing that in Mattel. Similar stocks, similar setups. If we go to VECO, Veeco Instruments, what do we see here? For one, here, 1 bar Rev Strat weekly back up. Up in here, inside bar. The one bar becomes 2 bar. Right? It took the downside, then took the upside, forms the shooting star next to the inside bar. All right? That's a Rev Strat. Actionable signal follows the inside bar. Rev Strat's below here, goes in force below 2860, comes down. If you go to TTWO on the weekly, you're going to see this one here too. Right here. Inside week, countered by shooting star. Rev Strat's below here, goes in force below 4450. You can see nice move down there. If we go to FTNT, go to the monthly, we have Rev Strat month to the upside presently. Inside bar, countered with the doji hammer back inside, goes in force above here, 34.94. Now goes inside weak. This will reconfirm or negate that move. If it goes above here, 32.74, it would be inside week to the upside, Rev Strat month to the upside, and we can look for reconfirming signals on shorter term time frames. Combination. If we go to Buffalo Wild Wings, inside bar, breaks, not weak enough to take out the mother bar, comes back, Rev Strat. This would be Rev Strat weak, above 150, 145. Looking for the 1, 2, 3. Goes in force above that, right? When we get into time frame continuity, this will be important. It's still red on the month. The question is, can we turn that back green with the actionable signal? But for right now, stay on the actionable signals. Potential Rev Strat weak, Buffalo Wild Wings. If we go to Target, monthly, inside month and down. Here, still in force. If we go to the weekly, so the inside week to the downside here to start moving. But if we go back to that monthly, the important part of this one is we've been watching this for a long time. The actionable signals still worked. If you look at this, inside month hammer goes up, falls back down, right? Now the inside month drops to the downside. But you can see how it goes up here, and then back down. Could we expect that every new month? We can, because this is the mother bar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months completely within this bar's range. If it's going to break out of there, actionable signal caused it to happen. Here. If we go to Cigna CI, start off this week. Inside month to the upside is in force, so long as this is above 140.70. Here. Had some news, shook them up a bit. Took them down hard and comes back up. Potential momentum hammer. If it goes above here, the momentum hammer goes in force above 146.31. At that point, it would be inside month to the upside, momentum hammer up weekly. If we go to the daily, inside day. So, potentially, we could be looking for inside day up, inside the daily participation group, triggers the weekly participation group, which reconfirms the monthly participation groups. So we can keep an eye on all this stuff during the week, and we will have a conversation on Wednesday, and we can look at all the actionable signals at that time and see what's working. Most importantly, you want to continue to speak the way I'm speaking when we see something. When you see something, you say Rev Strat month, right? We don't say good, bad. We speak in the language that I'm teaching you. Quantitative analysis based on the universal truths of price action. So once again, we've studied the candlestick formations that are actionable signals, but not universal truths. Right? The inside bars that are still inside, considered still inside while that bar is live until it closes, forms the equilibrium, then it becomes actionable. The rev strats, the countering of those inside bars, that the reversal is a reversal of the equilibrium of the inside bar. The importance of the flip, the bottom of the hour, and how we can have the only time of the day that a longer term actionable signal can form and trigger. The importance of combinations, looking for through the different actionable signals across participation groups, the monthly group, the weekly group, the daily group, the 60, and then down to the intraday. We've begun to start to look at what a measured move looks like, and we can continue with that when we get into further about the universal truths. The importance of when things happen, and we're going to get into that more deeply as we move along. We've gone back in time to see how this has happened over and over again across several asset classes, because it's price action. It's not anything specific. Price has to work this way. So now you can look at charts, speak our language, speak the language of quant, right? Only in fact. What is the potential setup? What is in force? Being mindful that this is only one of the universal truths. Inside bars, actionable signals are the engines that drive price action. This is what causes things to move. However, it's important to remember this is only one. There are three universal truths. Every one of them matters when we are entering trades. So, that being said, I will see you again soon when we can discuss this and move further into time frame continuity and the broadening formations. This concludes the portion of actionable signals.